Okay, so it looks like, let me make sure that you guys can hear me. There you go. Yeah, you can hear me. I can make sure you can hear me because I can see the little thing moving. Anyway, so it looks as if Colorado has to, I guess, stand down for a second. Who knows? I mean, this whole thing with Trump and the being taken off the ballot, and then, all these other states jumping through the hoops, attempting to do the same. It all looks as if everybody's going to be doing the same issue, going back and forth. So, according to what we see here, it says that with Colorado, with the Colorado Republican Party's appeal to the U.S. Supreme Court to keep former President and current GOP frontrunner Donald Trump on the state's primary ballot, President Trump is near certain to stay on the ballot. The Colorado Secretary of State's office, which oversees the elections in the state, said that Donald Trump will be included as a candidate on the Colorado's 2024 presidential primary ballot when the certification occurs on the 5th of January of 2024, unless the U.S. Supreme Court declines to take the case or otherwise affirms the Colorado court ruling. Now, the Secretary of State, Jenna Griswold, added in a comment that she supports the court's decision to disqualify President Trump. She says, quote, Donald Trump engaged in insurrection and was disqualified under the Constitution from the Colorado ballot. The Colorado Supreme Court, she states, got it right. She continues with, this decision is now being appealed, and I urge the U.S. Supreme Court to act quickly, given the upcoming presidential primary election. Now, on December 19th, 2023, which was just last week or so, give or take a few days, the state's highest court ruled that President Donald Trump was ineligible as a candidate under Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, which stipulates that people who have taken an oath of office and then participated in an insurrection or rebellions cannot return to office without a two-thirds vote from Congress to remove the restriction. Now, activists have argued that the January 6, 2021 breach of the United States Capitol constituted as an insurrection, leading legal scholars and experts in recent months to debate the application of the Civil War era statute to President Trump's eligibility for office. Now, lawsuits challenging his eligibility have been filed in about half of the states across the nation, but both federal and state judges have largely dismissed the cases on procedural and jurisdictional grounds. Reasons have included the interpretation that primaries and political parties' functions aren't governed by the state lawmakers, and the rejection of the idea that the framers of the 14th Amendment meant for each state to determine its own definition of insurrection. So this goes on to ask the question now, will the Supreme Court act? The Colorado Supreme Court ruling included several specific conditions. It had stayed its own order to remove President Donald Trump from the ballot until January 4th, 2024, just one day before the deadline to certify the primary ballots. That stay would have been lifted if no party sought an appeal in the U.S. Supreme Court. Once an appeal is filed, the Secretary is ordered to follow any U.S. Supreme Court decision instead. If the U.S. Supreme Court decides to reject the case by January the 4th, Colorado will remove President Trump from the primary ballot. But barring that or any explicit order from the U.S. Supreme Court to remove him from the ballot by January or before January the 4th, he will stay on the ballot. Legal scholars and state secretaries have for months been expecting the U.S. Supreme Court to ultimately provide an answer for this novel legal theory challenging President Trump's eligibility, even before considering whether January 6th constituted as an insurrection. State judges and amnesty experts expressed skepticism that Section 3 is meant for individual state courts to decide. Okay, so now listen. Here is what I just automatically have to ask because you see, I don't have anything to lose because I'm not on either side, but I can still think for myself. And I just want to say, um, if he can't run, you mean Paul can run? I mean, if he cannot run, Paul can run? I don't know. And here's the thing. When we're starting to use different terms and words and shape and form them the way that each state wants to utilize them, aren't we treading on some really thin ice here? We've been treading on thin ice. We done broke some ice, but aren't we treading a little lightly, or shouldn't we be treading more lightly? I don't know, you guys. What do you think? Let me look here. He will win Colorado. James Stephen Emery says. Here's the thing, isn't it? It is annoying. Missy Ben says, this is so annoying. When will it end? Here's my question. Is this guy really that much of a threat where they have to continuously dig him up every time you turn around? He, since he's left office, has been the topic of every news article, of every news channel. It seems as if no one has allowed him. Can anybody tell me when he left? It never feels as if he's left because for whatever reason, the left seems to be hell bent on constantly drudging him up. And I really don't know. I really don't know what that means. I don't know what the end of this is going to look like. There's a couple of ideas that I see. You know, it's really hard anymore not to really talk about what you think about when it comes to him because of the fact that they've done so much to shift and sway everybody's opinion of what's happening and what's going on. And that in and of itself is a problem because when I consider how long he's been out of office, I don't see a difference. It seems like it's this seamless run. It's seamless. It's like he's running and he's no longer there. At the same time, he's in it, he's in the office, and he's out of the office simultaneously. This stuff is just blending and blending and blending. Now, so here's a question. Missy Ben said there could be civil war. I absolutely agree with that. Let me tell you why. There are so many things that we have seen in the most recent past that tells me that the foundation is being let there, is being played there. Okay. So if we could, like a bird's eye, look down and see the schematics of everything, just look at it as it's laid out. I think that there's going to be something that will definitely be racially motivated. And I could be wrong. I hope that I am. But let me tell you why I say that. I say that because there's been this tinkering with, these people against these people when we're all human and we're all the same, right? It's been this constant them against them and us against them and us against us and us against them and us. And it's a mess. So we're either going to have this big thing that's going to happen between, people of a certain shade and white folks, black folks and white folks, or it could be us against the individuals who are coming in. Hey, Joy, either way it goes, it's going to be something, and it's definitely going to be something that they have already used to divide. And by the and by when I say already used to divide, it's going to be something that they have already tested and tried and have found to have great success with it. And that's why I believe that it's going to be the spark of it. If it's not the bane of its existence, it's definitely going to be the spark, or it's going to have some undertones in it, because everything that they're doing right now is really leading us that direction. I really want to ask how many of you saw the movie? Absolutely, Daryl. Absolutely, Daryl. You're not joking. You are not joking. But how many of you guys have seen the movie so far? Something Into the World or whatever on Netflix. Is that the name of it? Get Out of the World, or hey, Stephanie. You guys, what's the name of that movie? Hit the like button. That's not the name of it, but hit the like button. What is the name of that movie? It is. And oh, Daryl, I really wish that we could all just sit down one day and just talk. But I tell you, this right here, what you just stated there is exactly right. Leave the world behind. Now let me dig into that movie. Very little. And I don't really want to dig too much because I was trying to find somebody who wanted to come on with me and talk about it. I wanted to have, these two different opinions, my opinion and what the other person saw, but I can't find anybody to come and review it with me. I have a few people that say, "Well, I would review, but I've never seen it, and I don't know." I've got to watch it for the fourth time, third time, fourth time. I've got to watch it for the fourth time, and that's my doggy. You guys remember, I got a new doggy now, so that little bell you hear is him. All right. Um, Here's what I think. Do you remember the blue? I'm going to just give you some ideas of what I saw. There was a lot of blue all over that bedroom, if you guys remember that. A lot of blue. And I kept trying to figure out what is the significance of all of this blue? It was too over the top.com for it to be the Democratic Party, but it could have been a double entendre. And what I saw, it could be that as well. Then I got to thinking, this kid's teeth fell out of his head. There's a lot of different things that can make a kid's teeth fall out of their head. So then I thought to myself, what helps with a radiation fallout? So then I tried to look and see what was what. Why did I keep seeing this blue as everything? It's all over that movie. Osmium. Osmium, very expensive. It's in the platinum family. So as I looked it up, and as I started to put my little, antennae on it, osmium is blue. It's actually so blue it's like a silver, but it's in the platinum family, but it's blue. It's representative. It's like a blue and yellowish hue to it. It's blue, and it is very expensive, but it would be comparable to other things to help and shield radiation. So that was one of the things that I noticed. And then I noticed, I had written so many things down, and I would love to say, "Hey, Charlie Sigler." I would love to see who else can come up here. Yes, radiation poisoning, of course, and it works with it to the highest degree, but it is far better than a lot of other things. The only problem is, hey, buddy, is that it's too expensive. Hey, buddy, you want to say hi to the people? You want to say hi? Come here. You want to say hi? Come here, boy. You want to say hello? No, he's looking for food, but his food is downstairs. Absolutely, it is, Daryl. It absolutely is. And the roof, remember the roofs of the houses? That's where I went as well. Hey, Ken, you just got your notification and rushed right over. Why, thank you, sir. Thank you, thank you. As to why, my personal opinion, I never look at things anymore for just the one side. Never anymore. I never just look at it as a one side. I look at it as being able to squeeze the towel and get everything out of it. You know what I mean? All the way down to the towel being dry. I look at things like that. I look at it like they're trying so hard to get everything out of it that they're not gonna leave anything in it. So everything's on the table, in other words. What I think is, they could be using this man. I mean, let's just for a second let our minds wander. Let's just for a second, because then we got to get back to this movie. But I still need somebody to come on, whether we're on, I need somebody to come on another show with me onto the Lockhart Perspective, and let's do this together, okay? Because I would like to see somebody else's idea of what they think about that movie. So before we get off that topic, let me just say that, and then we'll shift over to this really good question that Missy Ben asks. My personal opinion, that could get me in a lot of trouble. I done had a few vacations via YouTube, so let me be careful. I think he's an easy target. if it weren't for me knowing that everybody is under somebody else's control once they become the president, then I would possibly say that they're afraid of him, but I can't see that. Uh, I think the last person that anybody was concerned about, they took him out and not to lunch. And that was, one of the Kennedy people. That's my opinion. Um, but even with that, there's some undertones of some mess with that. My honest opinion is that they're using him right now as the person that they want to make the bad guy. Now, let's just say, for instance, that he came back and everything stopped. Everything awful just stopped. Well, then I think it ties into what a lot of other groups of people were saying. Well, he's just going to make everybody miss him, and then once they miss him, he's got to come back. So that goes in that department, and then it could be that some other people believe that he's not him anymore, and a whole bunch of other people aren't them anymore. And now you get this guy to come back, and now he's still subject to the people, but he's also subject to whoever created this persona, as it were. And the persona is going to do or exact the revenge of those who put him there. There's just too many elements of. First off, I don't doubt none of it because there's so many crazy things that's going on in this world today. So it could be that they are using him to scare everybody. Could be that he's no longer even in his earth suit anymore. There's a myriad of things. But if I just had to look at it for face value, I think the reason why, and I'm just going to be very honest, okay, just to answer it from a natural level, not necessarily to get spooky or conspiratorial, just from a natural level, I believe that he stood for everything that they did not. And I don't think that they thought he was going to win. And when he won, he spoiled the apple cart. That's what I think. I think when he won, he spoiled the apple cart. Nobody was expecting him to win. They all thought that this was a fluke. They probably didn't even expect for him to join in. But then here's my brain. What about the Simpsons? Because they ain't never wrong, baby. Okay? What about the Simpsons? They ain't never wrong. So it's like, well, if this didn't happen, then that didn't happen. So I think that that's all to keep everybody off their guard. I'm just sitting here now watching. Because, does it have to be him anymore? Does any of these people that we see have to be them? Did you guys see what I put on Twitter the other day? It was a former CIA agent. And what she had done was she came on to tell about a little thing that they had where it allowed them to create a person without creating the person. It's on Twitter. I put it up over there. And it allowed the people to put on a mask, and it was a part of their program. And she stated that under the CIA, the only reason why she was able to tell you is because it was no longer classified. That they utilized these masks in Moscow to sort of cover themselves and shroud themselves when they needed to move one agent one place without being detected by the KGB. And so she went on to tell the story about how she and her husband, he worked there, and she worked there, but that you guys put a 1 in the chat because my chat on this side is not moving at all. But she went on to say that she and her husband had both worked with them and that they had this thing where they had reached out to Hollywood to help them to make these masks look identical to who they wanted it to look like. That is why I feel the way that I do. Because there are too many, we're running out of hands. On the one hand, it could be this. On the one hand, it could be that. I ain't got but 2 hands, but on the other hand that I'm borrowing from my brother is this. It could be this. Here's what it is, you guys. It could be a lot of stuff. We could be looking at a lot of things. And spiritually, while we're looking at those things, a lot of those things, we could be shrouding the truth from being shown to even ourselves, because it's a part of us that doesn't want to believe that we are in a generation where this kind of magic could be happening. I know that sounds crazy, right? That sounds crazy. Let's see. Okay, Marines arrest who voted to remove him. See, these kinds of things, this is the kind of stuff that it's like, I don't know. Yeah, that whole thing right there, Daryl, that whole thing right there is a problem. That's that's the problem. And I think this is the reason why they keep doing it the way that they're doing, by allowing more confusion, more confusion, more confusion, more tapping on the adrenal glands to make everybody get anxious and be worried, because then they have the control. Because once you have everybody all in an uproar, up in a teasy, or not knowing what's going to happen tomorrow, then you're able to continue to do what you want to do. And if you remember, there are so many stories that have come out just recently that make you scratch your head. You're looking at the one story that we covered about maybe 3 weeks ago, that dealt with the that dealt with them allowing the land to be placed on. Let me go over here and get it, because I'm in here now. Hold on. Okay, it was our land. I can't even see it because I shroud the titles so bad you can't even find them, because I don't feel like getting involved in all of that other stuff that goes on. It's the SEC. It was the SEC. What SEC rule will cripple the land use in the United States? And we were dealing with them being able to put out the land and allow people to come in and now go on the open market, like the Wall Street Journal talks about all the time, and just go ahead and bid on land and then just take it. And then they can just hold the title and never do anything with it, never do anything that would actually bring any monies to America. There are so many things that have been slid up under the wire while we are so busy tripping on this other stuff, that it sort of makes you wonder, what really is going on. Now, as it relates to that movie, that one thing that I told you about the osmium was one piece that I saw. When I looked at it, I saw the blue. Next thing is, nobody listens to the kids, and the kids probably know a whole lot more than we do. That's the next piece that I saw, is that little girl was so destined to have friends on. She wanted to watch it. But then there was the other piece dealing with friends, and that is that Julia Roberts had some beef and some scuttlebutt and a whole bunch of other stuff. Those things are real surfaced, but the stuff that I dug into was the oh God, man, I wish that I was prepared for this conversation, because I wouldn't have had my notes downstairs. But I know the osmium was one of them, because osmium is that blue, and a lot of people were affected by the radiation that we're having now. We have radiation that we're dealing with right now. And one of the things that I have for, she's not here right now, but one of the things that I got for her, and I don't know how it's going to work because I got one for myself too, is to see if this thing works to help sort of combat some of the extra stuff, the extra radiation. So in my personal opinion, baby, I just have to tell you, I think that they're afraid of him. If he is still who he's supposed to be and he's not been switched out, they're afraid that he could cause them some type of problems. If not, he could be a type. He could be a type to dissuade others that are like him or that stood for what he originally stood for, to prevent them from ever running again. You don't want these problems. We want you to be like a waffler. If you're going to come on this side, come here, boy. If you're going to be on that side, you need to be a waffler like Marjorie Green. Hey, boy, come on. You want to see the people? Come on. Come on. Come on. You're not a child, so you can be seen on TV. Come here. Come here. Aw, come on. Come on, boy. Buddy doesn't want to talk, you guys. He doesn't want to talk right now, but he wants something from me, but he doesn't want to show me or tell me what it is. I want you guys to meet Buddy. He's adorable, and you guys he'll be our dog. We'll all share a little Buddy. Jer Bear, without coming on the screen, pass Buddy to me, please. Is he running away? Okay, thank you. I'll just put it in my afro. Hair grease in the afro. Hair grease in the afro. Thanks, Buddy. Okay, pal, let me take this dog. Okay, everybody, this is Buddy. This is Buddy. Hello, Buddy. Say hello, Buddy. What you got to say? What do you got to say for the people? What do you got to say for the people? He's like, I don't want to say anything. It's just, this is the second time today that she's been away from me, and I can't take it. Okay, but that's my baby. That's my buddy. That's my buddy. He's 7 months old. Yes, he's so sweet. He's so sweet. It's time for him to get groomed. Okay, So what I truly and honestly believe is that if this guy is still the guy that he's supposed to be, if he is 110% who he's still supposed to be, that he does pose a threat. However, I don't believe that there's anybody that they're using right now that's not a part of that party. Or what he is doing is a movement. Yeah, but see, the problem with movements is that they can move on out. That's a problem with a movement. A movement can move out. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Missy. Thank you, Charlie. He is a distraction. He is. That's why I'm saying I don't think he's him anymore. Was he ever? Was he ever? What are you doing? What are you doing? You want some water? You want some water? You need some water. So I don't know, you guys. I just feel like it's just a big, big mess. And I'm not voting no more. So, oh my gosh, did she say she's not voting? No, I ain't having nothing to do with all of that stuff because to me, it's all a circus. That's just me. I remember when I first announced that I wasn't going to be dealing with that, I had all kinds of calls from the people who are conservative in my family. You can't say that. You have a platform. People are going to listen to what you say. I'm like, no, people need to make their own decision. Me personally, I don't want anything to do with the zoo. It is a zoo. And so for me, I'm like, yeah, it's okay. I'll try to keep these people down here in check. That's on the local level where I stay, where I live. But those people up there, that is a kingdom. That is totally a kingdom. Understand me. That is a kingdom. Government is a kingdom. So what kingdom am I supposed to be in alignment with? I know a lot of people want to use a lot of other things that say, that still say things like, no, I don't play the lottery. They don't have the lottery out here, Mustang Bully. I don't. They don't have it. Hot mess. Joy says a hot mess. Don't touch that hot eye. No voting to get burned. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like being bothered with it. It's just too much. And they trying so much to bring so many different people in to sort of bend things their way. That's a whole thing right there. They're doing too much for me. I don't know if it counts or not. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, I'm not telling nobody else what to do. I'm just telling you why I do what I do. And that's very coming from me. I mean, like I said, back in 2016, baby, I was about nothing but him. Trump and me, we was like this. That was it. Me in 2016. Oh yeah. I was like all in his back pocket. All right. I was like, defending because I didn't want anybody else to come on and win. I didn't want certain things to happen in the country. But the night that he won, I heard the Spirit of the Most High God say to me, this didn't change anything. It just bought you guys some time. And that was some time. If you was going to get in to fit in, get your money right, stack your chips, do what you needed to do, get your houses in order, because that was the beginning of the end. Now, let me say this. If he does come back, will it have been 3.5 years of good and then 3.5 years of bad? Who is he? Will he have the deadly wound? Everybody keeps talking about, unaliving him. They keep talking about that. Okay. They keep talking about that. I know Mustang, but you know what? I vote here locally, but after that last thing that I saw, and I appreciate you for saying that. After what I saw take place, I can't trust that anymore. Now, I did have a story, and it was dealing with let me read this to you guys, see if you saw this. Will there ever be anything that will change the trajectory and the direction that our country is going, seeing that those who are in rulership and leadership have already decided the way that they want it to go? And if they are the ones who are in control, is there anything that the smaller ones, those of us, can do to change what they will do? Now, some would say we can intercede and that our prayers, the effectual fervent prayers of the righteous availeth much, or intercession of the righteous availeth much. Okay, that's one direction, yes. But then there's another piece that says, all right, well, if I'm not a part of that kingdom, then why should I have anything to do with that kingdom? Why, if I believe in the Bible, right? Why, if I believe in the Bible, would I go and I deal personally? Again, okay, we're using this. We're running out of hands, but we're using it. Why would I then go and align myself with another kingdom that is diametrically, obviously opposed to the kingdom that I'm assigned to or that I'm a part of. Does that make sense? So, yes, you do have several different fingers. You put the finger in the dike over here, and then the finger in the dike over here, and then now you're out of fingers, but you got all these little holes. So, I just prefer to align myself now that I understand and now that I see what was going on back then, what's happening now. Now that I see that, I have just elected to align myself with the kingdom. Because to me, that's the safest thing to do. Now, one would say, well, then in that case, and you shouldn't even vote for who's local. Well, I can touch who's local. I can't touch them cats. And until these cats that's down here get up there with them cats that's up there, I can't touch them. I can touch them until then. Right? You see what I'm saying? So let's see. Are there any other questions here? America, land of the plumed serpent, daughter of the Babylon. Ain't nobody messing with you in that plume serpent, quasicodal or any other, because ain't nobody gonna get that. Listen, if people really understood what was up, we could truly have a conversation. If people really, truly, and honestly understood what was really up, we can honestly have a conversation. We could. I do see your point, but at the same time, I look for the day of the Lord's return every day. And that is what you should do. Here's what I always believe. I believe that whatever house you belong in, then you should follow the rules of that house. That's how I feel. And I think that's a great way to think. I think that, what you're sharing here, Mustang Bully, is a great way to think. I really do. Oh, look at the doggy. I think Biden couldn't win except if he was the only one on the ballot for us to vote for. Here's the thing. Where he is concerned, I've always said that I thought that it was Obama. I had this weird quirky idea that that he could have had, a 12th year, a 12-year run, that this would be it, that this would be a part of that or whatever. And that's how I feel. I kept feeling like, wow, maybe he's the president. Maybe this guy's not, But then when I did, like I said, I saw that lady from the CIA on that TED Talk. I put it over there on my Twitter page. When I saw her and she was talking about the fact that they have a mask that they could put over and that they use these for their diplomats and their people so that these people were not going to be detected. I thought, gee, there is something to that. As I tried to remember everything that I wanted to talk about, there was something that I wanted. So I think Biden couldn't get it. Okay, yeah, I saw that. I saw that message. Okay, so what are you doing? He snatched my brush out of my purse and then ran as if to say, I got it. That dude right there. What else did I want to talk about as far as that movie was concerned? First off, do I have any takers of anybody who wants to come on the air with me and we can talk about that movie together? Do we have anybody? The technology exists. Exists. Yes, it does. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with everything you just said there. And the antithesis of self-determination, every good person follows their heart regardless of whose. Point taken. That I said he was going to do somebody else. He is. I agree. I was blessed enough to be born here. That was a 4% chance, by the way. I will never give. Okay. Very good. Very good. Very good. I agree with all of that. I think it's important for us to be able to say, how we feel and to stand as long as we can. And as long as we can have these types of discussions, I think it's important. But as far as he is concerned, I truly and honestly believe that the reason why they disliked him so in the very beginning was because if for whatever reason, all things being equal, this man was voted in because people like myself and others worked hard and made sure he got in. I believe that the collective that had that one mindset would have been the reason why he got elected, and that everybody who thought that he would not be elected, who kept saying, oh, he'll never win, they really thought that he was not a part of the game, if all things are equal. And let's just say for a moment, that's the only thought process that we can have, is that everything was equal, that when you vote, this person is in, this person is out. If we use that mindset, what I now think is he does pose a threat to them and the way that they want this game to roll. If we use the mindset of everything equal, everything balanced, everything normal, and that those who are in opposition have a way to make sure that things go their way. And so they're attempting to exact it. Now, did anybody see the results for Georgia and their investigation that was set on for 2 full years as it relates to their ability to count votes? Did anybody see that? There's a way for them to tally things. The tallier, apparently, Rafflesberger in Georgia, as well as somebody else, knew that it was incorrect. Okay? They knew that it was incorrect. They knew that this thing could not be utilized to take votes. I was going to put it over on BitChute, but I don't know if I can talk about it here. Let me see. I don't know if I can or not. We'll try. We'll see what happens. You back in here for more stuff, huh? Huh, buddy? Okay. Okay. I can't find it here. Hold on, let me look on my cell phone because that's where I was looking at the story, and I think I recorded a lot of it too. Let me see how much of it I recorded, because I was going to bring it to you guys, but I didn't know whether to bring it here or to bring it over there. Okay, hold on, let me get it for you. I know I got it in here. We'll find it together. We'll work it out together. There you go. I'm going to read this. I don't want you guys to tell me what you think. I found it. Okay, earlier this year, the Federal District Court for the Northern District of Georgia unsealed a 96-page Haldeman report on June of 2023, the security analysis of Georgia's ImageCast 10 ballot marking devices. Make sure that you guys, I'm not gonna show it because I don't need no trouble, but I'm gonna read it to you. Okay. Georgia Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger was hiding this report from the public for 2 years. The University of Michigan professor of computer science and engineering, Jay Halderman, and security researcher and assistant professor at Auburn University, Drew Singraw, collaborated on the report, where they discovered many exploitable vulnerabilities in the D voting system, ImageCast 10 system. Barr left Georgia, the article says. Amy is the judge. Amy Totenberg sealed and covered it up, the results of the investigation on the D voting machine in Georgia, and sat on the report for 2 years until its release last summer. Now, you all may already know this, right? This is the reason why I say I can't trust anything, because if you've got the ability to do this, well, I mean, what am I doing? You don't need me. Y'all need to just come on out and just take over. That's how I feel. Quit trying to pretend like people have the option to vote for who they want if you know good and well all you're going to do is go and flip buttons and switches. Anyway, the report confirms that votes can be altered in their system, in their machines. In fact, the report reveals that their software is vulnerable and can be hacked. But we already knew that. We already knew that when they elected, everybody started switching up using these things then. We all knew that. Now, the Georgia Secretary of State hid this information from the public until June of 2023. Now, the copy of the Alderman report was released back in June. it's pretty lengthy. I'm not going to go through all of this. It's like 48 pages on the first part, second part, a total of 90 pages. This thing is huge. But what I will do is I will give it to one of my mods. Let me see. Duplicate this, please, if you can, sir, if he's still here. Is Calhoun here? Daryl, pick that up and share that if you can. Okay. So the deal is, okay. So the deal is that as long as they can manipulate stuff like that, it makes you feel like, I really don't, what am I doing it for? What am I getting involved in this for? This is a real, listen, in Nancy Morgan Hart's own phrase, or in Bettina's way she would phrase things, this is a shit show. That's how she would phrase it. The whole entire thing is. The whole entire thing is. Hey, Tonette, it says, I can't say that I know for sure who the Antichrist is. Trump and Obama are both on my short list. Could be. I still have my eye on, and Willie too, possibly someone that hasn't come to the spotlight. Here's the thing. Why does it have to be a human being? Because there are other beings. It doesn't have to be a human being. There are other beings. There have been times where people have stood on an elevator and did not feel good with the person on the elevator with them. It didn't mean that the person was a bad person. Could have meant that that was a being. Trust and believe me, when you look in the Old Testament and the Bible says that there are, bodies celestial and bodies terrestrial, do people just overlook certain scriptures? Yeah, I think they do. I think people just take scriptures and just say, oh, I don't want to use that one. No, I don't want that one. I don't want to use that one. I don't believe that there are bodies terrestrial. I think those are just heavenly bodies. Really? Okay. That's fine. But sometimes you're dealing with some stuff that you don't understand. And I think that's where we are right now. Yes, she did. And in my spirit, she still does. Okay. Okay, so Joy Trujillo says, owning a cat and voting, check the box and find a piece of funny, very funny. So I don't know, you guys. I just think that it's better for me to just stay out of it. And that's the reason why I have nothing to do with it anymore. Because I don't trust the system like that anymore. I just don't. And now that I understand in its fullness, and you know what, here's what I think. I think that in 2016, when we all were out there pushing, for those of us who were voting for him, when we were all out there just pushing and pushing and pushing for him to win, and then he won, and then we got to see small little things like when he first bombed Syria. That bothered me. There was other little bitty like breadcrumbs of things that was like, whoa, wait a minute. And then the major coup de grace was obviously this thing right here. When he was like, oh yeah, I did this and it was just the fastest thing and it was just great and all this is wonderful. And you know what I mean? Just all of that stuff. All of that stuff. Those things are what sent me to the other side. And by the other side, I don't mean the side of the dodos. Because no matter what, I'll never go on that side. But here's the thing about that side. That side has now canceled out enough of their people and pulled them over here on the other side, pulled them over on the Republican side. Do you remember how many people it was about a couple of years ago where they were just jumping, leaving ship, saying, I'm not a Democrat anymore. Now I'm a Republican. First of all, anybody who is that staunch that they would actually go and run in that party and then switch up like that, they ain't switched. They did what they needed to do to make the people in that community feel like they could trust them. Because everybody knows that they're all jumping ship, and they're jumping ship and going on one side on purpose so that they can confuse the masses or the people who individually believe, hey, I want to just be a Republican and I used to do this or I used to believe this or that and now I'm going to be a Republican. And so they'll see somebody jump ship like that. And once they jump the ship, they feel like, okay, see, they believe it too. They want to be like me now. And so now we're going to get, all you got is them transferring the same Democrats that was Democrats over here now calling themselves Republicans, which is nothing but a glorified rhino with pearls on. That's it. Just glorified pearls. That's it. Hey, Trish. How you doing? You see what I'm saying? Hey, Beryl, Susan. It's hey, Stephen. So to me, it's just like, really, really honestly, what is it that we're really looking for if we're looking for answers in him? And that's a very pivotal question, because so many people are going to say, if for whatever reason this gentleman is reelected and he is allowed to have his next 4 years, if that's the case, it could be a couple of ways. They could find that the whole, that the whole 2020 thing was wrong, and that there was some, you guys hit the like button, and that there were some problems with that. And they could say, hey, Arizona, we're going to take Arizona into account. We're going to take Georgia into account. We're going to take all these other places into account. We're going to take the unprecedented idea that this thing was actually stopped, and we're going to see y'all tomorrow to be continued, which is something they never did. Never, ever, ever did I ever have I ever seen anything like that happen before in my life, where we just running the game and everybody is tallying the votes, and all of a sudden, okay, y'all, we're going to check y'all out tomorrow. Where do they do that? So there's a lot of things that you got to take into account that could be said, that could say, well, the whole thing is not right. The whole thing has to be a redo. So let's give him back those years, and then let's go ahead and move forward. I don't know. I really don't know. But I do know that the person that's in there right now is very unhealthy. And to me, with everything that was going on prior to him becoming who he is, the seated president, I feel like there was enough illegalities done there where he should be, this particular kick him off the ballot thing should be utilized against him. There's too many red flags. And so that's the reason why my heart breaks for the country. My heart breaks for the people who are still out there fighting and, pushing for the people that they want to be the president or all this other stuff, because people are looking for hope. And I believe that people have to pull their hope out of that, either go within, if that's what they believe in, or believe in the Most High God. Always. Yes, a double-minded man is unstable in all of his ways. That's correct. Okay? But the point that I'm making is this. Do not put your trust in that person. Do not put your trust in anybody that's a human being that takes up space or that looks like you. Don't do that. Do not put your trust in anybody, not a person. Sometimes you have to take your life in your own hands and take care of yourself versus to see what somebody else is going to do. Now, if he does come in, yep, everything's going to be okay for a little bit. Then all of a sudden stuff's going to stop. They're talking about trying to, take him out. And if that's the case, then we already know that if that's that, then that would be it, unless they're trying to exact part of the scripture. Because a lot of people thought that the deadly wound was when he when he had to go in the hospital for COVID. Remember that? A lot of people thought that would be the deadly wound, and that those 3 days that he was gone was indicative of the 3 days for Christ. You guys remember they juxtaposed that? They were juxtaposing him going in and that being the same thing. So, child, you never know what is on these people's mind. Hunter Biden's laptop should be front now. You know what? And it would have been, Missy Ben, it would have been had they not played with it. Had they not played with it, it would have been. Hold on, you guys. Let me see who this is at my door. Who is it? Okay, you guys, sorry about that. So to me, I think that right there, what Missy Ben just said, that right there was prevented. They prevented people from knowing that. They prevented people from knowing that. But here's the thing. I think that they had done enough witchcraft to where that wouldn't have even mattered to the people who still pressed the button. Because there was so many black folks that I was trying to call off that mountain. And honey, when I tell you, them people was not coming off that mountain. And they're now sitting back quiet. When you talk about, well, he didn't do nothing. Well, Trump still. And I said, I have nothing to say to none of you people, because you guys are the main ones running out here voting for this human being, like he was God himself. After he sat there and told you, if you don't vote for me, then you ain't black. As you shuffle along to go vote for him, go shuffle and tap dance and vote for him. He said all those things. He said a lot of things. And the funny part to me is that before, and here's the thing. You guys know I'm not voting for nobody, but I'm not stupid and I still have an opinion. Okay? Before this whole thing happened where they started calling him a racist, he was in every black person's rap song. Trump was. He sure was. Why? Because this cat was the only person giving money to the industry cats that could not get money elsewhere. He was giving them loans. And then when he saw what they did, if they were stewards with the money that he gave them, what he did was tell them, go ahead and keep it and do what you got to do. Keep building your business, flip your money and do what you need to do. But this is who he was. So we cannot I'm not about to say that I don't remember any of the good things that this cat did. I'm just saying, I find it very curious that the same exact people that he was helping are the same exact people that ran around and called this man racist without any proof. That bothered me. That bothered me. Trish, you gone? Your pretty self. Take care, baby. That bothered me. It bothers me when I can see, the hypocrisy. That bothered me. I was like, wait a minute. This is the same guy that every rapper had in his song. Every rapper that he had given money to. When he gave money to the guy that was running that went around and had our names changed to African Americans. Who was that guy? Keep hope alive. What was that dodo bird's name? Oh, it's a dodo bird. He and the other one, him and Sharpton, but it was him and some folks that he had drugged with him that said that they were going to, that's you, and said that they wanted our names to be changed to African Americans. We never agreed to that. You guys know we never agreed to that. For those of us who know we never agreed to that, we never agreed to that. Because I'm Cherokee, Choctaw, and Creek. That's what I am. I'm not no African American. I've never been there. Never been to Africa. My people ain't never been to Africa. We all from New Orleans and Louisiana down in there and Mississippi. That's who we are. All of us. Okay? So this cat, what was the cat's name, you guys, that went out there and did that? Yeah. Yes, that's absolutely right. Thank you, babe. This is it. I'm getting off now. I'm coming to eat down there with you. Just go and put that away. No. Go ahead and take it. I'm coming now. You so sweet. What was that dude's name? The Keep Hope Alive. Jesse Jackson. Okay, bingo. Who gave Jesse Jackson money when he was trying to run for president? Who gave him money? But he racist. Huh? Who? 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 Little bird now. Little bird. That's who gave him the money. So I just find it very curious that whenever I ask somebody, well, what did he say that was racist? Well, he said a lot of stuff. Okay, what specifically? What did he do? Oh, he did a lot. Okay, what did he do? But I never got answers. That's what lets me know that people were under mind control and that they were under some type of hypnotic, everybody was like all high-minded. I don't know, but it just bothered me. Okay. It really, really, really took me out. All right. We need to lift Trish up. What's going on with Trish? I had back. Oh, really? Baby, I will definitely lift you up. I will definitely keep you lifted up. I will definitely I will start to intercede for you, baby. Oh, Joy. Them old jokers. That cat probably ain't even the same cat. You know what I'm saying? Because he looked like a bobblehead. Now it's so tiny. It's okay. I'm just making a joke. All right, y'all. The dinner just got here. That's who that was. Yeah, they were all hypnotized, Missy Ben. But what I'm going to do, let's see. I wanted to have a conversation with you guys about a few things because there was some stuff. We have to go over that movie. Please tell me who's going to come with me when I have the panel open. You do not have to show your face. You can just speak. You don't have to give your real name. You can just talk. But we got to talk about this movie because this movie talks about a civil war. But if you remember, what was at the end of the movie where the black guy and the white guy, the black guy was like, I thought we were friends. And the white guy was like, yo, We ain't friends, buddy. They ain't no friends in this time. It's just me taking care of my family. That was a pivotal statement. That was a pivotal statement. That was a pivotal statement. But here's an even heavier statement. Had the community got their minds together, those who were of like mind got their minds together, everybody would have been okay. But because people are now divided, and those guys, even though those guys were neighbors, working as neighbors, even though they, own their homes or whatever, there was still a hierarchy of mind somewhere, whether it was the black guy who was educated with the wife who was an art dealer, and they got all the money in the world, and this white guy, and the black guy was over them, or vice versa as far as finances were concerned. Whatever it was, there was something there that caused a divide, and it was that divide that had that dude. Was that Kevin Bacon? Whoever that dude was on the You will? Okay, good. Then what I'm gonna do is I'll put the live up, and whoever wants to come up. But Missy Ben, that would be good. But if you look at it, was it Kevin Bacon that was in that movie? Okay, if that was Kevin Bacon, I remember. But the point I'm making is that cat was serious. He was like, yo, look, let me tell you something. It ain't got nothing to do with nothing right now. My household is my responsibility, and I'm taking care of it. But prior to that, what laid the foundation for them even being able to be so distant was the fact that there was still distrust sown within the human community, within the human race, because of the crap that's going on. And everybody keeps hearing all this trash. And so it takes a bit of personal responsibility for you to be able to say, I don't want to believe in any of that stuff. I'm just going to believe that I'm a good person. I'm going to do people good, and I'm going to take care of my family. Now, if we have like mind here right now, then when anything hits the fan, we already have like mind. I got you, you got me. But that's the fact we took prior to getting into this, right? That's not what's happening right now. Watch it. Well, because you know what? We were supposed to be a republic. But like the former president said, yeah, if you can keep it, if you can keep it. So you guys, I'm going to go ahead and go eat. It's all propaganda. Okay, watch it. And this is Thursday. Yes, this is Thursday. I know a lot of people are going to be busy on Sunday night, but we could probably, if you want to come on Saturday, look for the advertisement for it, because I do want to break it down, because I have so much more than just the osmium piece. Julia wore the pants in the family. Well, did you see the shirt that he had on? He had on a shirt that was the bikini. Oh God, it was a band from like years ago, and it was a feminist band. The husband had on the bikini, bikini bottom, whatever it was. It was a group. That was a feminist t-shirt. The husband, and oh my God, she was horrible as a person in this movie. Yeah, the blue in the movie is like I said, a double entendre, but to me, the blue in the movie was definitely osmium. The blue in the movie was definitely osmium. The white guy said he couldn't live without a phone unless. Did you see that? There was so many pivotal statements made. Joy, I hope you come on. I hope that you guys stop being afraid when I put up a panel. Y'all jump on there. Jump on the panel. If you want to be a part of the panel, do this for me. And that means any panel in the future. Because what I'll do is just send you a link when I am about to do a panel show. And if you're available, you can just go on ahead and come on. But if you'll be interested in sharing your thoughts with us as a panelist, please come on. Go to info@FeliciaLockhart.com. Info@FeliciaLockhart.com. Tell me that you'd be interested. Once I put the show up, I'll send you the link. If you're available, jump on. You do not have to show your face, okay? But you can just come on, because everybody's view is so important. Betty R, oh, I don't know where you are, but I would love to have you. Varel, I'd love to have you. I'd love to have anybody on here to come on. But I'm going to go eat my supper. All right, you guys, love y'all. See you soon. Tomorrow, 2 o'clock. You guys don't forget, tomorrow, 2 p.m. Central, we are going to be talking about the immigration situation. I got some stuff that I pulled from 2006 when everybody was all about it. Everybody was about it. Everybody was about it. But now everybody ain't so about it. All right, you guys, y'all take care. Love you. Peace. Take care of yourselves and take care of everybody else. Take care of you first. Don't forget that. To receive instant notification each time I upload, please hit the subscribe button and the bell notification. Helping